Greetings, programs. This is Wretch. Welcome back to Foolish Mortals. And in the last episode, guys, Murphy was able to acquire the second of the brothers' keys, and thanks to some bioluminescence, was able to escape the cave before Rackham's ghost tried to bury him alive a second time. I guess that's his gimmick for all intents and purposes. But we also know that the clue to the third key is through this automaton, which we thought was a statue, and we have a greasy rag here, so hopefully we'll be able to loosen up these joints and see what happens. We saw Rackham's ghost following us as well, so this could be interesting.
Using the flag soaked in grease, I began to oil the automaton's joints.
Guess we just needed to lube up the arm. Engraved coin.
I placed the coin back in the automaton's hand and watched.
Oh. Got a piece of paper.
The cap of the scroll case opened and revealed something inside.
Well, there's life in the old thing yet. Gives us all hope, doesn't it?
Yeah, I guess it does.
It was the piece of paper that had fallen from the secret compartment in the statue.
What do we
I picked up
got
the piece
here?
of paper that had fallen from the statue. Unrolling it, I discovered it was a death certificate, all filled in except for one key piece of information. The name was missing. It was certainly a clue, but who did it belong to?
Death certificate. This is to certify that blank has died on the first day of April in the year of our Lord 1898, and was respectfully and expeditiously buried at St. Juniper's Church Cemetery on the 31st day of March in the year of our Lord 1898. Witness Mr. Cecil Belmore and Mr. Edgar Kettle. St. Juniper Parish Clerk of Public Records, State of Louisiana. Okay. Make any sense to you there, Rupert?
Look what I discovered inside the statue.
Oh, what's that then?
A death certificate without a name.
Well, I hope they weren't buried in here. A decomposing body would wreak havoc on my petunias.
Well, since it's St. Juniper's Church, maybe we should drop this off to the Padre. See if he has some input here.
Do you remember officiating this funeral? I have the death certificate, but the name's missing.
The name's missing? That's not an oversight I would make with the paperwork. Has someone been officiating behind my back?
Alright, nothing there. So let's go talk to the gravedigger, perhaps? That's Edgar Kettle, alright.
Does this death certificate mean anything to you? The name hasn't been filled in, but it says you were the Undertaker.
Of course I was. Nobody else on the island would do it, now would they?
I was wondering if you remembered who it was you buried.
That was over 30 years ago. Do you know how many bodies I've buried in my career? I couldn't tell one corpse from the other. This may surprise you, but I don't get that attached to them. They don't make for very stimulating conversation.
Is there any way I could find out who it was?
Well, you've got the date they were buried. Maybe there was an obituary.
Thank you.
Oh. That's right, we'll check the records at the newspaper then.
As I returned to the docks, I realized that Dead Nettle's usual smell of sea breeze and rotting fish had been replaced by something far more pleasant. The smoky scent of a...
Oh, of a fish. Whoops, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to double-click that. Actually, one of the things when I play point and clicks, my finger tends to twitch sometimes, and I miss dialogue, and it frustrates me. Ooh, look at that. What you got here, Ned? Got a fish fry going.
Hello again, Mac. Now, I hope you don't mind, but you left your fish hanging there. No sense in letting a fish that size go to waste. I've started cooking it up. It'll be the tastiest fish this side of the Mississippi. We can tuck in as soon as it's cooked.
I tried to hide the realization growing on my face. A mouthful of taxidermy stuffing and chipped teeth from the iron horseshoe hidden inside wouldn't be the culinary sensation Ned was after. Sounds great, Ned. The fish was far too hot to pick up, and I was sure Ned wouldn't have wanted me to extinguish his grill. Good evening, Ned.
Hello again, Mac.
Ned, I don't know how to tell you this, but I'm not sure that fish is edible.
Nah, Mac. Don't be so modest.
No, really, I think there's something inside the fish that shouldn't be there.
You almost had me there, Mac.
Ned was a nice guy, seemingly too nice to believe what I'd stowed in that fish. How's the grilled pancoza coming along?
Sizzling up nicely. I have to keep checking it every few minutes. Make sure the fire isn't too high. Make sure the skin doesn't get too charred. But don't worry, I'll let you know as soon as we're ready to eat.
That's my problem.
Catch you later, Ned.
See you around, Mac.
Is... Firework?
I didn't want to blow up the grill.
Oh. Well, if that's the case...
If Ned wanted to wait until the fish was cooked to tuck in, it was time to turn up the heat.
Please keep looking that way, Ned. I apologize for what's about to happen. Whoops!
Whoa! We don't want you overdone, little fishy. Time to cut you open. Ready for a taste sensation, Mac?
Ready as I'll ever be.
Hand me back that knife, would you?
Oh no! Can you give the knife back?
That's strange. There's something in here. A horseshoe.
Now, how did that get in there?
Mac, I think your fish is stuffed.
Well, knock me over with a herring. I'm shocked. Does this mean my record doesn't count?
I hate to break it to you.
Did I hear what I think I heard? Out of the way, Buster.
Evelyn, what took you so long?
The record-breaking pancoza was stuffed. The new record was a sham. Murphy, what have you got to say for yourself?
You've caught me red-handed. Well, I don't mean to be coy with you, but this cuts me to the soul.
Wow.
I only entered for the halibut. I can't believe I'm herring this right. I'm cracking up. I'm floundering. I'm carping on and on. I need to clear my head, but let me know if you need anything else from me.
I think you've got more of a future in the funny pages than serious journalism, Murphy. Kips, have you got time for an interview with the Juniper Parish Gazette?
Evelyn homed in on Ned like a dog with a bone and no sense of personal boundaries.
What would you say to others in your situation?
Oh, are we distracting her? Oh, okay, cool. That's right, she wouldn't let us go near the cabinets, would she?
Wife of local factory worker becomes first female professor of the mind. The newspapers in the cabinet dated back decades. If I was going to find something specific, I needed to match it up with a date.
Well, we got that.
Using the date from the death certificate, I began to search through the newspaper's archives.
She was very protective of these for some reason.
And then, I found it. In the bottom corner of the newspaper was a small announcement showing that the person buried on that date was named Eleanor Hines. I ripped out the announcement and replaced the newspaper.
Okay. It's hereby declared that the burial of Eleanor Hines took place, witnessed by Mr. Cecil Belmore at St. Juniper Cemetery. So I guess we gotta go look for Eleanor's grave? Oh!
McAllen, I told you you can't go back there.
Whoops, look at the time. I've really got to be going.
Hope you enjoyed your interview with Mac, though.
I had a name to go along with the death certificate. Now it was time to find out where they were buried.
Or a Ned, I meant. Well, that is awesome. Do we still have the bellows? I also really like how organic these puzzles are. Okay, we still have the bellows. We did, however, lose the knife. Okay, Edgar. I guess we could go look for it, but
Do you know where I can find this grave?
Eleanor Hines? Name rings a bell, but I can't remember the face. She must be around here somewhere, though.
Thanks, Edgar.
I scanned the headstones for anything of note, but didn't know what I was searching for.
Yeah, we do.
I began searching the graves for the name in the clipping, Eleanor Hines.
Heir to a condiment empire.
I discovered a small headstone at the center of the cemetery, partially covered in moss and lacking any date whatsoever. So this was where Eleanor Hines had been buried, except now that I was looking at it etched in large letters, I began to realize something. The name was an anagram. Here lies no one? And if a person wasn't buried here, what was?
Ooh. Well, guess it's time for some more elbow grease.
To say digging up a grave felt eerie would be an understatement, but if something was down there, I needed to find out what it was.
Hopefully Edgar won't mind that we're kind of getting into his
I took out the
franchising.
shovel and began to dig.
3 hours later.
Eventually, I found something.
A felony conviction. Ooh.
Not a coffin, but instead, a battered old chest.
Oh, it wasn't locked.
I opened the chest I dug up from the grave and found 2 things of interest. A round glass lens and an engraving in the lid of the chest.
Ooh, I know what to do with this.
I picked up the glass lens.
And that was, what, the Tale of the Mermaid?
It was an engraving carved into the wooden lid of the chest. The engraving read, "The Tale of the Mermaid." It was a small glass lens I dug up in the cemetery, found alongside the inscription, "The Tale of the Mermaid."
Time for some amateur astronomy. Can we go ahead and... Okay, looks like we can't actually... Edgar, please don't be mad at us, sir.
I thought I'd leave Edgar alone for now.
Yeah, let him deal with the consequences of our actions. Back to the mansion. And we go all the way up. And we fortunately, I think we have a path up here through the corridor. Yes, indeed.
The small lens fit perfectly on the end of the telescope. I immediately looked through it to see what it would reveal. I spy with my little eye the next clue. The creek meandered all across the peninsula. Surely that was too much to search.
Can we move it around? What is that?
I'd already walked that road numerous times. Was there something along it I was missing?
Can we move the... Oh, yes we can. Tale of the Mermaid.
The Tale of the Mermaid. This must have been the location described in the chest's inscription, but looking through the gap in the weather vane, all I could see was darkness. With no easy path to it, I couldn't justify risking my life trekking through overgrown wilderness and the alligator-infested bayou unless I was sure something was there. I needed some way to light up the bayou.
Okay.
The clue could easily be hidden beneath the pebbles in the bay.
What else do we have here, though? Ooh, octopus.
Perhaps there was something important about the weather vane, but I couldn't put my finger on what it was.
Or tentacles.
Perhaps a shipwreck lay somewhere off the coast?
So how do we light up? Also, how do we exit? Oh, there we go. Globe. Try the roof.
It was an iron weather vane in the shape of a mermaid. A piece of rusted drain pipe had detached from the roof. The drain pipe had twisted and now pointed straight up to the sky, empty of everything but moss.
What? Oh, we could light it up like this?
The firework dropped snugly into the drain pipe.
Ah, it's a
If it needed a
placeholder.
launch tube to fire, this was the closest I was going to get.
That's better. And this will definitely light everything up. And then I guess we go check the do we still have our matches? Yes, we do. I'm glad we went out here to the
Took
roof.
a match out of the matchbook, dragged it against the striker, and lit the firework.
Okay, time to run.
Illuminated by the glow of the fireworks, I could see something through the mermaid weather vane. It looked like a wishing well.
Oh, that's very specific, though, because the weather vane would have to be right in that position. It's not spinning or anything. That's some finding the room in the Death Star in Rise of Skywalker logic, to be fair. Okay, that's good. That's very good. Was that there before and I just didn't notice it? Right, to the map. And another locale.
My route to the well had me clambering over fallen tupelo trees and trudging through knee-deep water, lit only by moonlight and accompanied only by the overly curious critters of the bayou. But eventually, I found it. The well was built on a rocky island surrounded by swamp water.
We're just gathering all the samples, aren't we? Glug glug.
On the center of a small island was a stone well, decorated with metal filigree. Carved into the stone on each side was the face of a gorgon.
I was about to say, we got a strong Medusa vibe here.
Attached to the side of the wishing well was a mechanism used for raising and lowering the rope. It was a sturdy rope with a hook on the end.
You know what we need? Some rope.
I wanted to turn the pulley, but realized the handle was missing. Without a handle, I wasn't going to get the leverage to turn it.
Well, good news. We've had this in our inventory for a while.
The crank slid into the gear mechanism perfectly.
I don't know what we're fishing for, but...
I'd heard of throwing a coin down a well to make a wish, but never of throwing yourself down. I just had to hope a 30-year-old rope could still hold my weight.
Yeah, especially with all the moisture. Uh-oh. Well, it was a good game, everyone. Hope y'all enjoyed.
With some luck, I found I'd landed on a metal platform jutting out into the hollow of the well. Clearly, I wasn't the first person to come down here, although the previous visitor might have arrived here more gracefully.
Glad this catwalk was here.
I picked up the rope and the spindle it was attached to.
Waste not, want not. So it's a rope and what else now?
It was a length of old rope that had snapped in the well, tied with a loop at one end.
Oh, great. Well, that'll be handy.
It was a small wooden rod, the snapped leftover from the well spindle.
Look, a perfectly good alcove. Nothing bad happens in alcoves. This is a great plan. I'm happy to be a part of it.
Unless I planned on jumping even further down into the well, the alcove looked like the only route out. But as I ran my hands over the bumps in the darkness, I couldn't find anything but cold, wet stone. If there was something there, I'd need some illumination to find it.
Do we still... Okay, matches?
The light from a match was going to be too dim and too quick burning to properly examine what lay in the darkness. I needed to think bigger.
Ooh. Broken spin. Let's try the greasy rag on the spindle.
Knowing how flammable the grease-soaked cotton would be, I wrapped it around the spindle to form a rudimentary torch.
Got some D&D logic going on right now. Okay,
I
we're
took
not...
the final match out of the matchbook, careful not to drop it onto the wet floor, and ignited the torch.
Oh, it's the last match?
The torch burned brightly, dancing light into the formerly dark alcove. And that's when I saw it. Hidden within the rock face was a small metal box with a button on it.
Push the button, Frank.
I pressed the button and immediately heard the sound of sparking electricity, seemingly coming from within the rocks themselves. And then... the torch was in a good place where it was.
Are you sure? Is the door going to close behind us? Thanks. I hate it.
The passageway meandered like a labyrinth through the underground rock. With each step, I felt more and more lost and ready to turn back. Then up ahead, I saw a glimmer of light.
Ah. Okay, this is where we're going to set up our operation to fight the crime of Gotham City. Hello, chasm.
I looked into the chasm, but all I could see were jagged rocks, darkness, and numerous health and safety concerns.
And where does the staircase lead?
The top of the stairs appeared to be a dead end, but the wooden board blocking my way and the muffled sounds of electricity suggested there was more to this passageway than met the eye. I placed my hands on the obstruction and pushed.
Oh, there's the third brother.
I emerged into a dimly lit office that seemed to have been taken over by frighteningly active machinery, and from the familiar groaning of wood, I realized where I was.
Where are we?
Papers were strewn throughout the room, covered in ferociously written observations and diagrams, very few of which made any sense to me.
And what in the Tesla is this?
The large machine looked like something out of the story Frankenstein, fizzing occasionally with stray sparks. So this was the generator that the water wheel was powering. This was what was bringing the spark of life to Cecil's experiments.
Oh, we're in the mill. Gotcha. Ew.
Surrounded by blood-stained cloth, the murder weapon was still firmly embedded in the victim's back.
If we pull it out, we'll become the third brother.
It didn't feel right pulling the dagger from the skeleton. I didn't want to interfere with the skeleton any more than I had to. This must have been Cecil Belmore, the scientist. I solved your treasure hunt, Cecil. I hope you don't mind me taking this as my reward.
Yeah, there you are. Right on cue.
Murphy McCallan, you will pay for your insolence.
I have the third key now, Rackham. The treasure doesn't belong to you. I will get to the Belmore treasure before you.
Do you think this is a game, Murphy McCallan? You are toying with things beyond your understanding.
I think you're just nervous that I'm closer to finding the treasure than you are.
I will not be defeated by a mere mortal. Even if you claim the treasure, I will haunt you to the ends of the earth. There will be no escape from the terror and misery I will bring down upon you. Each time you sleep, I will turn your every dream into an unending nightmare.
I've survived your attempts to kill me twice now, Rackham. Maybe you're not as powerful as you think you are.
Even with the 3 keys, do you really think you can beat me to the treasure, Murphy? You are a mortal. I am an all-powerful spirit. I have looked upon the face of death, and still I remain here. Now it's time for you to look upon death too. Just as Cecil Belmore's blood poured from his body, so shall yours.
Oh. I forgot they have telekinesis.
Rackham's telekinetic powers had dropped me onto the mill's conveyor belt.
Oh, that's
My
not
wrists
good.
and ankles now tied with the same wire that was strewn about the mill. But at least the buzzsaw wasn't on.
Thanks, I hate
And then
it.
it got even worse.
Uh-oh. I can't... Oh, that's handy.
With inches to spare, the belt snagged on the warping wooden frame and gave me a chance of escape. Acutely aware that it could catch again any moment and send me hurtling into the spinning blade.
Yeah, like, what in the shinobi is going on here?
No matter how hard I pulled, I couldn't snap it. I considered touching the spinning blade, but I was quite attached to my hands, and I wanted to keep them. With my hands and feet bound, I couldn't reach my belongings.
Oh, dear.
Carefully, I held the wire wrapped around my wrists against the spinning blade. It cut through them like butter, just like it would do to me if I couldn't get my ankles free.
Scissors? Yes?
With seconds left, I hacked into the wires with the scissors and just managed to cut through them. With my legs free, I swung myself off the conveyor belt. I'd survived being cut in half, and now I had Cecil's key. That was it. All 3 skeleton keys. Now it was time to open the vault.
Yes, indeedy. Okay, cool. Can we take the buzzsaw with us
I
now?
didn't want to touch it. I hadn't seen something with that many scary-looking teeth since Old Lady Malloy's German Shepherd got loose on my 10th birthday.
Fair enough. Can we see the ghost again? Doris? Where were you? Why didn't you help?
Cluck, cluck, cluck. Mark?
Mm-hmm. Wait, can we show Doris the...
I'd bothered the chicken enough.
Oh, I forgot if I
needed
had
to
or
think
not.
of something else.
Okay, to the manor. We've got all 3 keys. We are ready to rock this out. Now, which goes which, though?
I placed the first key into the mantelpiece. The key didn't fit that keyhole.
Oh.
I placed the second key into the mantelpiece.
2 keys. Ah.
I placed the third key into the mantelpiece and immediately heard a click.
Oh, I love the sound of a secret passage opening.
I didn't know what exactly I was going to discover beneath the house, but it was time to find out.
Yes, it is. And I'll tell you what, guys, this is a perfect time to go ahead and call it an episode. When we get back, we will head down into the tunnel and see what awaits us. But I hope you all enjoyed it. If you liked the episode, please leave a like down below. Subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, that'd be a big help. And we'll see you next time. Later days, everyone.